Wagwan YouTube Nation, and me again, man, Mr. B. And I want to continue a conversation we had started a couple of days ago about this dancehall thing. Just want to put the icing on the cake. I've always maintained that music in Jamaica is kind of likened to, there's this Bible story of the parable of the 10 talents. And those of you who know the Bible business will know that story there better than others. A man I was to go up on a big traveling, and he decided to take his business and divide it up among a select group of his employees. I think he took 5 of them and he broke it up, 10 talents them call it, and him give one man 5 and him give one man 3 and one man 2 and one man 1. And say, do your thing. And he gone about his business, And the man with the 5 multiply it, do them thing. But one of the man them take female and bury it under a rock and expect so when the man come back him just hand it back and thing. And to me, that's kind of how the music business in Jamaica is. We are a country with a whole heap of talent. And, our policy makers are like the servant who take film talent and put it under a rock and expect, say, that them just do the safe route, Now, I say that to say a couple of things. And even before we go there, I want to just invite you, if you've been liking our videos, to just hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, first of all. Okay, you know where you go. You subscribe. The next video drop, you're up front, you know where I go on and thing. I kind of also want to, just raise the stature of the channel as well. So please, subscribe, like, and share. But to the topic at hand. Jamaica is a little place where our biggest resources are people. The country's biggest natural resource is the people. The music in Jamaica, whether you call it reggae, dancehall, DJ, whatever it is, music is a massive part of the cultural ethos of the country. It's the one thing that identifies Jamaica everywhere in the world, and our music reaches around the world multiple times over. And so it struck me as kind of strange that instead of, from a policy standpoint, we're making the kind of policy decisions that redound to the development of the industry, what we're doing, and a lot of, ordinary Jamaicans who have a little con, are hell-bent on literally killing our music, Yes, we have some dancehall music that we could have really do without, but instead of us throwing away the baby with the bathwater, let us do some separation thing. The music is massive. And if you go back to the days of the 70s when our tourism is just taking root, even to this day, it's the music that is one of the biggest drawing card of people into Jamaica. Our music is what has made our country, so recognizable around the world. Yet, for all of this, and the country we boast, and even at the political and other levels, we talk about how many genres of music we give to the world. But there is nowhere in Jamaica to this day where you can go one evening after work and you can listen to some live music. There's no performance center in Jamaica. Yet we say music is important in it. There's nowhere in Jamaica where you can go and go listen to some live music. There's nowhere where we can, develop the talents of our performers. A friend of mine, Mikey Bennett, who sang with Home Tea over the years, and who has been on my Yard Meter Sunday Scoops program, made the argument. They say every day around the world there are hundreds of reggae or dancehall concerts. And on more than 98% of those concerts, there's not one Jamaican artist who is on the bill. It's something to think about. How can we claim that the business is so important to the country, but we only provide lip service? You know, it's something that we need to think about. Dancehall has its misgivings, but it is what is in vogue because it bears the greatest identifier with our young people, and that our young people is rebelling and creating some of the music that is really a little, out of the ordinary. It's not enough to use that to kill the genre, because this genre has given birth to reggaeton within the Latin community, which is now a multi-billion-dollar industry, right? But we're not really getting the kind of stake that we should have gotten out of that. The same dancehall has reawakened Afrobeats. People hear the term Afrobeats and you wonder where Afrobeats come from. Afrobeats has been around for decades. It's been around from the 1960s. And Afrobeats was normally appended to blues and jazz music coming out of North America that was being picked up in Africa. In the late 1990s, early 2000s, Afrobeat basically started to pick on the stylings of dancehall music, and what they have done is rejiggered the genre to reflect essentially the kind of the lyricists that were coming out of Jamaica. You plug in your African drumming, and what you have is a new iteration of Afrobeats, which is driven by Jamaica's dancehall. Again, if you are not paying attention and studying the industry, studying what is happening in the business, a lot of this kind of information on the development is going to miss you. And I think that from a policy developmental standpoint, it is missing us in Jamaica. Well, not only is it missing us, Jamaica, the bus gone left way, because the industry is now being taken apart by people outside of Jamaica who is making a piss pot load of money off the content that we developed. And because we don't have no policy to underpin it, we are losing. It is something that we need to pay serious attention to. A couple last weekend we had Rudy Mills and Keith from Keith and Tex on our Sunday Scoops program, and I asked them the same question. What do you think about the music that is coming out now? And these are guys who are the foundation of Jamaican music. And as they pointed out, listen, I think we all need to recognize that as time passes, music is going to change. The younger people who are coming in, them have an entirely different perception of how this thing works. The music is essentially an expression of the people. And if the lyrics are risque or lewd, it is a reflection essentially of what the people who are creating these lyrics, what they are experiencing within their communities. You cannot argue against that. That's just a fact of our existence as a small country. That's also a factor of our existence in terms of how we have developed the music industry in Jamaica. By and large, Jamaicans over the last 5, 6 decades never saw the people who make the music that we now revere as important. They saw them as throwaway people, them as streggae. Reggae come from the term streggae, and by extension, the dancehall is really the guts, the underbelly of these communities. And how dare we let these people into the mainstream? And so we use that, and we crucify the people who are creating these songs, the people who are putting these lyrics out. And we forget that above everything else, your music basically is a chronicling of the experiences of your country, right? If it's bad, that's what you're gonna get. if negative, you're gonna get that too. The positive, you get that as well. But you can't slice out aspects of your existence or pieces of your culture and your existence because you think it is not palatable. If you're going to talk about Jamaican culture and Jamaican social and economic experiences, we need to take the entire package, right? We need to not do like the man with the talent, where you get a gift and instead of you fertilize it and develop it and look at ways we can exploit the economic and other opportunities present, we do that instead of burying it under a rock, right? We need to recognize that it is through the investment in our people that we grow as a country, right? We need to provide the tools and the guardrails through which we can properly develop this industry so that we can maximize it. And more importantly, we need to encourage, especially the people with money, people with capital, to provide the investment for the development of our music as an industry. Because if you don't do it, right, the man them who is a scammer and the drug runner and the gun runners, them is going to put them money into the music and you're going to get what we are get right now. Give me a feedback. Tell me what you think, right? And, I'd love if you would, let me see those feedbacks in the comment section of the video. And again, I ask you, if you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and of course, share. Until then, I'm Missa B. More time.